I'm Samindara Sawant, clinical psychologist, founder member, Disha Counseling Center. In this session, I'm going to share some insights and information with you about the way we think and certain errors in thinking that all of us tend to make from time to time. As I'm sure all of you have experienced, how we think has a huge impact on how we feel as well as how we behave. Consider a situation where you have a fight with your best friend and you think, she always misunderstands me. How are you going to feel in this scenario? Obviously, you'll feel angry, upset, let down, misunderstood, disappointed. And how will you act? You will probably sulk, maybe you won't want to talk to her for a few days, or maybe it will result in yet another fight. On the contrary, if your thoughts in this situation are, I'm pretty good at solving misunderstandings, how would you now feel? You will probably feel confident, have high self-belief, positive, and you'll believe that you're able to resolve the situation. How will you act? You will probably approach your friend, try and figure out what bothered her or him, and try and resolve the situation. So you see, what you think about a situation impacts how you feel about it and what you do about it. So our thoughts tend to run from an entire spectrum. At times, we are capable of thinking in an extremely rational, fact-based, objective and logical manner. At other times, we can be completely irrational and illogical in our thinking. Our thoughts can sometimes be very focused, positive, optimistic, full of energy. At other times, we can be very pessimistic, negative, low on energy in the way we think and process. Right? At the same time, all of us tend to make some or the other error in our thinking from time to time. These are known as thinking errors or cognitive distortions, and they impact us by making us jump to erroneous conclusions, by resulting in faulty interpretation of ourselves, of others, or of the world at large. So in this session, let us try and familiarize ourselves with the various kinds of cognitive distortions that we can engage in from time to time. As I go through each of these thinking errors, see which are the ones that you resonate the most with, which are the ones that are your favorite thinking errors, so to speak. And we'll also try and discuss some tips, some pointers on how we can change our thinking. Emotional reasoning. Here, we allow our thinking to be guided entirely by our feelings. Don't get me wrong. Our feelings are an important part of who we are, and we do need to take cognizance of them. However, at times, our feelings can misguide us completely, especially if they tend to be illogical or irrational. For example, consider a person who tends to feel anxious easily. Such a person may notice the anxiety and tell themselves, I'm feeling very anxious, something terrible is going to happen. In such cases, we allow our feelings to come to a conclusion that may actually have no basis in reality. So, while emotions are an important component of who we are and contribute to our mental health, at times, emotions may not be the best way to understand or measure external reality. Emotions are powerful and often tend to overwhelm us. Hence, at times it can be difficult to overcome this cognitive distortion. One way to do this is to look back on the situation after you have calmed down. Ask yourself how you feel about the situation when you are calmer. Check whether the conclusions that you drew came true or not. Check whether you misinterpreted the situation based on what you were feeling. As you keep doing this retrospective analysis over a period of time, you will slowly be able to build this awareness into the actual emotional moment. Once again, I reiterate, do not overlook your emotions completely. At times, they can be a very important source of information for you. However, learn to balance this emotional information with the external reality. Jumping to conclusions. The name says it all, doesn't it? This is a very common cognitive distortion that all of us are guilty of indulging in from time to time. In this case, we tend to come to a negative conclusion based on little or no evidence whatsoever. This tends to happen because we assume that we know what others think either about us or about the situation. We form our outcomes based on these assumptions. Consider this situation. Suppose there is a social gathering or an event that you're not looking forward to attend. You push yourself to go, and the moment you step in, you assume everybody is ignoring me. People are not interested in talking to me. Doesn't it happen so often? We think we can read people's minds. Or sometimes we engage in a kind of fortune telling. For example, when we tell ourselves, I'm just sure I know this project is going to fail. All these are examples of jumping to conclusions. If you tend to often engage in this cognitive distortion, try to question your assumptions about others. Seriously, do you really think you can read other people's minds? No. So then let's not assume the worst. Make a habit of looking for proof or evidence that supports your assumptions. Is there any factual evidence, any information that makes your assumption true? If not, it may be time for you to give up that assumption and look at reality as it really is. Filtering. Just as the lenses of a camera allow only lights of specific colors to come in, filtering is a kind of thinking error that only allows specific information to enter into our awareness. And usually, this is information of the negative kind. When we are stressed, when we are anxious, we tend to develop a kind of tunnel vision that allows us to focus only on negative, anxiety-creating, stress-creating information to enter into our awareness. When we wear sunglasses, the world appears to us in the shades of the colors of our glasses, doesn't it? If we wear brown sunglasses, the world appears brown tinted to us. Similarly, if we wear blue tinted glasses, the entire world seems to be bluish in nature. Similarly, our mental view or the way we look at the world around us is very strongly impacted by the mental filters that we operate through. For example, if we strongly believe that people are not to be trusted, we will view every interaction with. How do we overcome filtering? Well, the first step is to become aware of our filters. Try and identify which filters impact your worldview. Is your filter, life is such a struggle? Or is it, nothing comes easily to me? Or is your filter, everybody lets me down? Once you identify your filters, try and make an objective effort to collect evidence against or contrary to that filter. Try and look for evidence that shows you that your filters are not true and are in fact biased. Once you start becoming aware of our filters, it will slowly help you to stop these filters from getting automatically activated every time you face a similar situation. And then it's only a question of time when you are able to cleanse your worldview completely of these filters and see reality as it actually is. Disqualifying the positive. In a way, this thinking error is quite similar to filtering. In this distortion, we tend to neutralize or minimize the impact of positive events or experiences in our life. For example, if you believe that you're not very good in studies and you happen to do very well in a particular exam, you tell yourself, the paper was very easy and hence you did well. Thus, you tend to ignore or overlook and believe that your own effort or ability had no contribution to the positive outcome. Make a conscious attempt to acknowledge your strengths, your strong qualities, your virtues. It's a good idea to make a list of your strengths and refer to this list from time to time, especially when you're feeling down or low in confidence. Additionally, when somebody appreciates you or acknowledges your work, accept these compliments gracefully. Most importantly, pat yourself on the back for your achievements, no matter how big or small. These are some ways in which you can minimize the impact of this cognitive distortion in your life.